What's up, guys? Ranger here, and I'm back with another very special reaction and review. I had a couple of requests, very special requests from very special people, asking. I had a couple of requests to do this video and check it out, which is Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue E3 2016 trailer, and this is on the Kingdom Hearts channel, which I didn't even know they had a channel. Awesome. And so, I'm not really sure what this is, so let's get on with this and check this out. Because this looks really... In a momento, before I do anything, there is another video over here on the side that looks interesting. Not to do a thing, but just to check out 7 creepy internet mysteries. I love things like that. So, anyway, now, let me double check, make sure everything's still going. Because I don't want to have another... Okay, good. Okay, let's check this video out and see exactly what this is, and I'll give my thoughts on it afterwards. So start the video in 3, 2, 1, click. Oh boy, Kingdom Hearts.
Complete this task, and return here safely.
Dream drop distance.
And I will name you both True Masters.
Look out!
Oh man, they're remaking Dream Drop Distance.
You can leave this one to me. Take this! Just stop it! You treat people's hearts like bottles on a shelf, but they're not.
This probably contains spoilers because I haven't got this far yet.
Be gone.
Okay, a fragment passage. Aqua. Oh my gosh, that looks beautiful.
The road collapsed when the clock advanced. If only I made it in time. Not even memories.
Oh man.
Are safe from the darkness.
Oh my gosh, that looks gorgeous. Oh man, that looks so freaking cool. This is like the 1000 Heartless battle in
Spend one more night beneath the stars with my best friends.
Man.
I'm doing it again.
Aqua.
Wait, what? Terra?
This world is full of light.
What? Did you expect the traitor to give themselves up with that accusation of yours? That was foolish.
I said, that's quite enough.
Hey, maybe talking about the book will cheer you up.
Not a chance.
Darkness will prevail, and the light expire.
Each of our copies were said to contain the events of the future. But this incident, well, it's nowhere to be found.
You can barely stay on your feet. Just give up already.
Why? Why did it have to come to this?
Isn't it our duty as Keyblade wielders to prevent this war from taking place?
Not possible.
We need to defy the Master's teachings to protect the world.
You're saying he was wrong? When the time comes, and there is war, you mustn't fight, but instead you must fly away from here to the world outside.
Oh my gosh. Final chapter prologue. Oh, December 20. Okay, PS4. I got PS4 before then. Okay. Okay. So many things. Okay. So many things to talk about here. And so, before I do anything, I'm going to grab some screens to be able to give a more detailed I'm going to grab some screens to be able to give a more detailed analysis of this video. So I'll be able to... Just give me a second. Okay, I'll grab some screens, so now that I grab some accurate pictures to be able to give a more further detailed analysis. First off, I am extremely excited that they are remaking Dream Drop Distance in HD, because I remember before the the question came up with every single other Kingdom Hearts game that had been remade into HD and re-released onto the PS3. A lot of people wondered if Dream Drop Distance was also going to be one of those titles. And initially, before, I believe Square said that they would not be re-releasing that one into HD, but apparently, and I really hope that the demand for the game was so high that they would decide to remaster the game, and thankfully, that happened. And so I think it's really cool that the game is being remastered into HD, and so therefore people on PS3 and PS4 will be able to have all the games and be able to relive those memories and have tons of extra content as well. And so I'm really excited that they did decide to remake it. Now I haven't beat Dream Drop Distance myself yet, so there was a couple of spoilers here, like with the younger Xehanort, and so it's really interesting still. I'm not sure what is going on in this right here scene, so this was a bit of a spoiler for me, but I know whenever I get to that part in Dream Drop Distance, I will figure it out. But I know Dream Drop Distance is a sequel to Kingdom Hearts 2. It is basically Coded was basically the direct sequel to Kingdom Hearts 2, and Dream Drop Distance was the sequel to Coded, and basically the official sequel as well to Kingdom Hearts 2. And so this scene I cannot really say anything about because I'm not really sure how to interpret this particular scene because I haven't got to that particular point yet. And then we also have Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage. And this is completely mind-blowing in so many ways, because we actually get to see Aqua. The last time we saw Aqua, she was locked in the realm of darkness in Birth by Sleep. And there was so much stuff that happened. I mean, there was so many things that happened. Terra had ended up becoming possessed by Master Xehanort, and had become him. And then Ventus had ended up losing himself. His nobody Roxas ended up going into Sora, and his body was left inside of his body was locked somewhere in Castle Oblivion, and so everything had gone wrong for Aqua. And this scene here showing Aqua has returned, and I think it's so cool because I wondered before if we would get to see more about what had happened with her, and I'm sure there is more on the Birth by Sleep section for the remake, but I haven't got to play that yet, so that much is completely lost to me. But I think it's so cool to be able to see more about her and be able to see more of what might actually happen. And this particular scene here, there's so much here to say. First off, the scenery is just absolutely gorgeous. I love this background. I absolutely love this. The detailing for the castle ahead, the pathway, the lit scenery, the illuminated scenery. This is just absolutely gorgeous. This is beautifully rendered. I love how artistic that this is. It has such a beautiful, it has such a both soothing and dark, ominous feel to it. It has a nice blend of that. And it's just, this is a beautiful scene. I have no idea what world this is, but I'm sure that we will figure out, that we will find out, obviously, whenever the game comes out. And then, okay, I know the remote, jeez, I accidentally told it to open the wrong thing. And again, the graphics here, we have this clock, and Aqua makes a mention that the road collapsed. And so there's a mysterious part going on here. And again, we get to see more of this with this scene here where the road collapsed. And again, this was just a beautiful and amazing scene. The graphics for this scene, the detailing, the structure design, everything was just absolutely gorgeous. And then it makes me wonder if the road collapsed, if during this particular scene, if you leave this castle, does that mean you will not be able to return, or does that mean that you'll be able to somehow get the road back? Again, I don't know. It's way too early for really any interpretation for it. But again, I have to take note of some of the scenery here, like with over on the upper left corner of this photo, the clouds, or the mist, the lighting effects. Again, this is just mind-blowing. I love the luminescent glow for this scene. I love how beautiful and artistically designed that the backgrounds here are. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And again, we get full control of Aqua once again, which is really, really cool. And so it makes me wonder, you know, if in this game, obviously, I mean, this will be different sections, obviously. And so I'm wondering if in this particular section, if you will only have control of Aqua, or if the control may actually switch. And a kind of similar thing to Kingdom Hearts 2. For the first about hour and a half to 2 hours of gameplay, you got to play as Roxas, and then the control switched over to Sora. And then there were a few boss battles where if you ran out of health, it was randomized. But there was one particular boss battle, the battle against Zaldin, at the Beast Castle in Kingdom Hearts 2. It was pretty much guaranteed there. It was 100% guaranteed whenever you ran out of hearts the first time, King Mickey would jump in and help you, and you would get control of Mickey, which was honestly one of my most favorite parts of the game. But it makes me kind of wonder if you will also be able to switch control here. And again, this scene, I love the lighting effects. I mean, just look at the glow from the street light here. Just look at the glow on the stone pathway. Look at that beautiful glow. That is just amazing. I love that. And I know you know some other games have probably done it better, but this is Kingdom Hearts. And I don't want Kingdom Hearts to get to the point that it looks ultra realistic. I don't want the game to ever look ultra realistic like you're looking at real people. I think the game should have a perfect blend of both realism to a degree, but also a cartoonish flair to it. You know, a sort of Final Fantasy style. And so this right here, I think it has very much, it definitely has enhanced visuals, but they're not overly done. It's not overly saturated, it's not overly colorful, it's not overly dim. I think it has a beautiful blend. The area is colorful, it's bright enough to that you can see what is around you, but it's also dim enough to give the feeling of an ominous, dark presence. Yet at the same time, it also has a very soothing feel to it. And so it's very interesting how that has played out. I love the background, the panoramic background, how the castle looks in the distance. It's not like just a solid wall design placed there that, like in some of the games, you could go up to and it's just a wall that looks painted. No, this, I mean, I'm not really sure the effect that they used for this, but it was really doing it incredibly well. And again, I'm marveling at the lighting effects, the reflection of the light on the stone pathway, and how from the light further back to the health meter, how it gets darker. And of course, you've got the darker sections, the shaded sections in between each stone. You've got the lighting effects. You've got the shadows over on these stone slabs. And again, it's just marvelous. And over on the right, you have the particle effects, the lighting effects, which is just absolutely gorgeous. I love the direction that they're going with the graphics for this. I absolutely love it. And again, another scene here, we can see a targeting effect over on this lamppost. So I'm wondering how that's going to be incorporated into the gameplay mechanic. But again, look at just the particle effects. How much is going on? How much is going on in front of Aqua in this scene? It's gorgeous. There's so much going on. There's so many details. It's enhanced tenfold from the first Kingdom Hearts games. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I still love, you know, Kingdom Hearts as they were, but it's really interesting to be able to see the series advance to what it is. I do not want it to be like way too much is going on that you won't be able to that you won't be able to really catch anything. And I also don't want the game to have so much going on that it begins to lag the console. And so hopefully there will be a good mixture for that. It won't be too much going on at one particular time. The original Kingdom Hearts, for me personally, I never had any lagging issues, so hopefully this one here won't have anything like that. But again, you can see like the dust particle effect here while Aqua is sliding down this, and again you have the lighting effect on this, the shading effect. It's absolutely gorgeous in how that is that is done. I absolutely love it. It's a beautiful effect. And then we see this town, and I'm not sure what town that this is. It first comes to mind Twilight Town or Traverse Town, but I'm pretty sure that this is not the same town because this looks very, very different. It has a bit of a similar style in how that the buildings are actually designed and built, and like with the stone pathways or like the stone streets. But I'm like 98% sure that this is not Traverse Town, or at least this is not the normal Traverse Town. This might be a similar section, but I'm just going to say, for all intents and purposes, that this is not Traverse Town. I could be completely wrong, and I'm totally fine if I am. But again, just look at how much here there is to explore. That's one of the things I loved about Kingdom Hearts. The first Kingdom Hearts, the worlds were a bit moderate in how much that there was to actually explore. The worlds were, every single area was like it was pretty much a room that was connected. There was a decent amount to explore at the time, and of course we're talking about 2002 here. And I loved how that it was designed. There was still a lot to actually explore. You had to go from room to room, for it to load, but there was still quite a bit. Kingdom Hearts 2 in 2006 actually advanced that. There was more to explore. There was more places to go. It was definitely an advancement. And of course, now we've had games that have come along. We've had games from Bethesda, the Fallout franchise. We have Skyrim, and so the concept of a massive open world is now out there. And so I love the direction that they're going with this and having a pretty good sized world to actually explore. Now, of course, personally, I don't want to see something in like Skyrim within Kingdom Hearts to where the world is incredibly huge, but like, I mean, I like how that the game, I like this sort of linear storytelling, and how that the story is pretty much point by point by point, and that there's like little side quests or things that you can sort of take a moment away from the actual story to do. But I mean, as much as I love Skyrim, I think that should just stick with that particular franchise. I don't want to see, I think an open world like Skyrim in Kingdom Hearts would be cool, but I'm not really sure how that it would go over within the actual world. Especially considering how many worlds that there would be. Skyrim is just one world. Fallout, there's just one world. With Kingdom Hearts, you're talking about multiple worlds. So I think the formula that they have going on is a great formula, it's a great setup, and I think that that's what they should stick with. Although, I have nothing wrong with the size that this world looks here, the scale of it, the design. I love the world, I love that the world looks like it has a nice, huge environment to actually explore. And again, you have the lighting effects, the shading, like as, the lights are brighter as you get closer, and they begin to get dimmer and darker. It's very much realistic. It has a nice soothing tone. I love the shadow. I love the shadow effects that is going on here, and how that everything, how just the lighting effects, the particle effects here, the shading, the lighting. It's just beautiful. I love how that it looks. And then we've also got other segments here. We've got other scenes, again, other beautiful lighting effects, particle effects, a fog fog feature, water feature, mist. It looks gorgeous. I mean, I love how that it looks. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and I'm really excited. Personally, I'm one of those people that whenever I play a game, generally, I love to just explore and look at the world that I'm in. I'm not the kind of person to just blow through it. I like to just take my time and explore the world and take everything in and take the time to take the time to appreciate all of the detailing and everything that was put into it. And so I can already tell I'm going to have so much fun looking at everything in this. I'm going to spend so much time just looking around and just exploring and just looking at all of the little details. I'm really excited that they're giving this much, that they're putting this much effort into the world and giving it such a huge environment, such a huge play area. And so hopefully there will be a lot more people that will actually be able to explore that as well and just really take it in. And then we've got other features here, like this giant onslaught of shadows. And so it reminded me of Kingdom Hearts 2 in, I want to say the Great Divide, but I don't think that was the title of it. It was after the Crystal Fissure area, the Canyon area, where you had to fight the 1,000 Heartless. And it was 1,000 Soldier Heartless. No, it wasn't soldiers. I forgot the name of that Heartless, but there was 1,000 of the same Heartless, and it was a really awesome battle. And this kind of looks like that. I think it's really interesting how this looks. And again, you know, the way that the camera moves, the panning of the camera and everything, it just looks really cool. And we see a lot of the exact same elements here. The command prompts, we see the health over on the lower right corner, the magic. We see the command menu over on the lower left. We see the information bar up on the upper left, and we see the enemy HP up on the upper right. I mean, the exact same setup to the prior Kingdom Hearts games. I'm really glad that they have not deviated from that, and that they've kept everything basic, and that everything is exactly the same. We also see the nearby targeting system. In Kingdom Hearts, you would auto-target the nearest enemy, and then you could press the R1 button again to automatically lock on to the nearest enemy. I'm not sure how this is going so far. So far, I've only seen this yellow target indicator, so we'll just have to wait and see how much more that actually advances. Another thing to note here with this particular screen is the glow that the Heartless Eyes has. Now, before in Kingdom Hearts, it was pretty basic. It was pretty simplistic. The eyes did have a bit of a glow, but they were just mostly bright. They didn't really seem to have an actual glow. This time around, you can see the particle and lighting effect as it starts at their eyes and actually moves outward. There is a glowing effect to that, and so I really think that is a very nice enhancement. And again, we see the shading effect. It's not just one solid black entity. We see the shading effect. We see the lighter areas around the edges. And so again, I'm really loving what they're doing with the graphics here. And another thing to notice is Aqua. Her design here, look at this design. Look at the smooth texture for the skin, just look how smooth and fluid that this looks. This is absolutely gorgeous, I have to say. As far as human characters go, I have to say, this is probably the best I have seen in the Kingdom Hearts franchise to date. Don't get me wrong, I love what they've done before, but like this is gorgeous, and I love how that it is designed. It's not ultra realistic. It doesn't look like an actual human being, like you're looking at a real human being. It still has. It's basically a Final Fantasy style in how that it's designed, and I love that. You also see the shading effects, the lighter areas the lighter areas which are facing the light. You see the darker areas which are which are indicative of like fabric being folded inward. And so again, I love how that it's designed. It's not just one solid flat piece. It actually has like texture and design to make it look a lot more realistic. And again, just look at Aqua's eyes. The texture around her pupils, around her irises. Again, this is just gorgeous. I am really excited for this. I mean, just the way that it looks visually is incredibly impressive. I love the design, and I mean, this definitely looks. I mean, I can honestly say right now, this is visually stunning, and how that it's done. And personally, I have to say, I actually hope they do not advance any farther. Like with this particular game, I hope they do not advance any farther. Maybe not in any other title, any farther than what they've done right here. The way that it looks, I think, is gorgeous, and I think this is the way that I don't think any more focus should be put into how that it looks, or in trying to improve that. I think it looks visually stunning the way that it is, and I think this right here is the way that it should stay, and this is the way that it should be released. I think it looks visually stunning right here. It looks so impressive. I love how that it looks. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And again, we also see, now, enough with the gut. Now, I'm still gushing with the graphics and everything, like the visual textures and everything. But we also see another character here on the screen, and I believe this to be Terra, which is interesting because he was lost to the darkness, basically. He became Master Xehanort. So I'm not really sure what's going on here. Of course, it didn't show him, but you know, it was just enough to, you know, you kind of get that impression that it might be him. So I'm really unsure what's going on here. Again, we'll just have to wait and see what exactly is going on. And then we have Kingdom Hearts back cover, or Kingdom Hearts X back cover. And so this is interesting. This is interesting. And this, again, I have to say, look at the size of this world. Look at the style. Look at the texture. Look at the design. Look at the lighting. This is visually stunning. This is just absolutely gorgeous. You see the castle off in the distance. You see the fog-like texture, the cloud texture. Look at the way the clouds are designed. Look at the lighting effects on those clouds. How that they're designed. That looks so beautiful. Look at the shading, the shadows on the fabric of this. I want to say the Organization 13 member, but I'm not for certain. But look at the lighting effects. Look at the shading. Look how the sunlight comes through the clouds here, peeks through the clouds. Look at the particle effect. Look at the rays of light that is spreading outward. This is positively gorgeous. This is just absolutely beautiful. Look at the little flower. Look at how it's designed. It's not just one solid piece. Look at it. It is, I mean, it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love how that they're doing it. It's just visually stunning. And again, we're also introduced to these other characters here. We're introduced to a new world, and we're introduced to these other characters. And so, and we don't see any of these characters' faces. All these characters are wearing masks. So it would be safe to assume that they are possibly with some sort of organization or cult. And every single one of them has a mask that is representation of a sort of animal. You have a unicorn, you also have a tiger or a panther or a cat. So it's very interesting with that. And so I'm really curious. And we also have, oops, wrong button there. Okay. We also have, with this other female character, what looks to be a jackal. I'm thinking of Anubis, the god of funerals, Anubis, the god of funerals and death from ancient Egypt. But it appears to be mythological. It appears to possibly be mythological creatures, at least for the brief moment. We see some mythological creatures here, like the unicorn, possibly Anubis, theoretically, or like jackals, and we see some other characters, like this one might be a camel, possibly. So there Again, I'm not really sure what is going on with the masks, but obviously there are some form of a possibly a cult or an organization, and they will Keyblades, or at least that's what it appeared from the other. They're referring to the Keyblade War. And we also introduced to this other male character and this female character to the side here, and so I don't know if there is any sort of romantic connection. I'm assuming that they're just friends. But there is obviously, I'm uncertain what's going to happen or what character we're going to get to play as here in this particular section. But again, I have to take a look at this structure. I mean, at the structures, the building designs for this. Again, look at this. This is beautiful. This is just gorgeous. Look at the shading. Look over on the steps on the right, the shadow effect, the lighting effect. Look at the building, the texture for the shadows and everything, the water textures. Look at the clouds. I mean, this is just beautiful. I love the artistic style that they are going with this. That they are going with this world. Well, with all of the worlds. I love the artistic style that they're going with this. It looks positively beautiful. And then again with this other scene here, look at this, the particle effects, the flowers and everything just, you know, moving. Again, another absolutely gorgeous scene, and again, how everything just moves. It's positively beautiful. It's just absolutely visually stunning. This game is pretty much going to be eye candy. Like, besides the story, besides the entrancing and deep, compelling story that the game I know is going to have, and awesome gameplay mechanics. I mean, you know, for me, the Kingdom Hearts franchise has had awesome. Okay, the only one that I wasn't too fond of the gameplay mechanic was Chain of Memories because of the card-based battle system. But the hack and slash style gameplay mechanic or battle mechanic in Kingdom Hearts 2, and pretty much every other Kingdom Hearts title, I really loved. I love the hack and slash style. I love how you were basically able to move about in an area. You were more free to dodge enemy attacks. You were more free to attack yourself. You were more free to be offensive and defensive, and you were able to. I mean, it gave you an advantage. Yet at the same time, with the enemy AI, there were a lot of times it didn't give you an advantage. And so, I mean, I think it was a really great blend. And obviously this looks like it's going to follow up with the exact same formula as that, and so I'm really happy for that. I'm really happy that they're bringing back the basic style for that. And we also see, again, look at we see this one character interacting with this guy in this black coat. And I'm interested about this guy on the left. His personality, from what he said, kind of makes me think of Axel, but his personality over here on the side kind of made me think of Axel, but I seriously doubt that this could be. It's a theory that this could be Axel before, or sorry, Lee before he became nobody, but it's just a theory. I'm probably wrong. But again, I'm looking at the backgrounds here, how that everything is just moved, how everything's fluid, how everything actually has depth. Everything in the background just has depth, and it just has distance to it. It looks like there is distance that actually has to be traveled to get to that. It's not like it's just painted on, like you can only go so far and then there's just a wall there. It looks like it actually has depth and distance, and I love that effect. And again, look at the texture for this tree here in the middle, the grass, the dirt, the flowers here, the texture for every single little petal and flower. It's visually stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous. Right now, this is just pure eye candy. I mean, the way that it looks is just pure eye candy. And so it's interesting with that, how that is actually done. And again, there's more to talk about with the story as well. I've talked about the graphics, and again, there's more. I mean, there's so much more that you can see here. I love the smooth texture for the characters, how the characters looks, and everything. Again, it's just visually stunning. And then there's more to talk about with the story here. And so, with the story, we have these characters. We have these characters here that are each wearing a mask, concealing their faces. And again, they're part of some sort of organization or cult. And this one boy makes a mention about the book. And so I'm curious as to what book he's talking about. It makes me think about, in the first Kingdom Hearts, there was a mention made about a book about the Heartless, that talked about the Heartless and about hearts. And the book was found in Halloween Town, but you never got to really look in it. Dr. Finkelstein used the book to try to create Heartless for the Halloween festival, but it was a failed experiment. But you never obtained the book, and I'm kind of wondering if that might be the book. 9.9 times out of 10, I'm completely wrong in that theory. But it does bring up an interesting concept. This character makes a mention about their copies containing the events of the future. I'm wondering exactly what he means by copies, if it's referring to the concept of nobodies, or if it's actually referring to some sort of cloning. Again, there's a lot more going on here, and I mean, the way that this trailer is designed, honestly, in all honesty, some trailers reveal way too much in the trailer, and so you can pretty much piece it together from what you're watching, what is going to happen. Some trailers reveal too much. Personally, I don't think this trailer reveals too much. I think it reveals just enough to open your mind to the many mysteries that is going on. It brings up a lot of questions, but it doesn't give any answers. And he talks about an incident. And obviously this incident hasn't been seen in this, so I'm curious as to what incident he's referring to. And obviously this is something that deeply disturbs them. And there's something that is coming up. And then you have this other male character, shorter one, probably a younger one, facing off against a taller, probably older male character. And he has what looks like a keyblade in his hand. And I'm wondering if during that particular scene that you might have had to fight him, and that cutscene takes place after, because the younger one makes a mention about him being barely able to stand on his feet. So I'm thinking that it might possibly be maybe after. Again, purely theoretical. And then we have this scene where this girl is running towards, and again, I have to marvel at the shading and lighting effects for this. I have to marvel at it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And this one character makes a mention about preventing the Keyblade War from taking place. And Kingdom Hearts is set 10 years. Kingdom Hearts is set 10 years after Birth by Sleep. Birth by Sleep is set, I can't remember how many years after the Great Keyblade War. At the end of Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep... Okay, at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, there was you could unlock the secret trailer, which many thought was for Kingdom Hearts 3. But it was actually for Birth by Sleep, which was the prequel to Kingdom Hearts. But it shows hundreds, if not thousands, of Keyblades lying in the sand from fallen wielders. The Keyblade War was fought. And so this is set, I'm wondering if this is set before that war, or if they're actually talking about preventing another war from taking place. So, again, there's not much to go on. It's just pure theories and thoughts. And then this other guy says, not happening. So, I'm curious, this guy in the black coat, if suddenly he comes onto the scene and these other people with the masks are disturbed by his presence because he probably knows things that they don't. And maybe he knows that the war is going to take place. And maybe he's the one that informs them. And so these people in the masks are trying to prevent it. And so I'm wondering about this guy in the black coat. Again, he kind of makes me think of Lee in terms of how he acted. Like, not possible. It kind of makes me think of Lee, but then Demix, I think that was his name, if I pronounce it correctly. He had a bit of a similar personality. But Lee kind of made me I mean, it kind of makes me think of Lee, but I don't want to say for certain that it is him. So again, we have another mystery here. Obviously, there's tons of them. And then we see this battle with these other two people. And we hear the dialogue from, obviously, a cutscene. The male and female character going up against each other. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that you probably get control of the female character here. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that you probably get control of the female character here. And so they're talking about the Master's teachings. And so there's a lot more going on here. And we see these other characters, these other background characters. And this female character tells these other people that whenever the war happens, that they must not stay in this world, but they must fly to the worlds outside. So, and this is Kingdom Hearts 2. And so, again, in the timeline for Kingdom Hearts, what happened? All the worlds in the beginning were isolated from one another. Every single world was isolated. But whenever the Heartless came, the barriers that separated every single world was torn down. They were shattered. According, I think it was to Leon or Sid, the Heartless no, actually, it was Aerith that said, I believe it was Aerith that said that the Heartless destroyed those barriers. They destroyed those walls. It might have been Yuffie. It was one of the Final Fantasy characters that said that those barriers were destroyed, thus enabling interworld travel in between every single world. And thus the gummy ships came into play. And so I'm wondering, again, if this is set before the Great Keyblade War, or if this is set after that, but it's another battle could be getting ready to take place. And if I'm going to go with either, I'm more going to go with the former concept than the latter, because that's what I'm more going to go with. And another interesting thing here to note is, with these characters, with these masked characters, we didn't see any Heartless. We didn't see any Heartless. The Nobodies had not been created yet. We didn't see any Heartless. But with Aqua, we did. So, obviously, in the world with the masked characters, I'm theorizing. I could be completely wrong here, but this is complete theory, that there might not be any actual enemies other than the other Keyblade wielders who want to wage the war. Who want to wage the war. And so, that's a theory. And every single character, I mean, some of these characters, obviously, they want to prevent the war. And I'm just going to say that some of them want to fight the war. And so, this girl tells everybody, leave that world and travel to the worlds outside. And so I'm wondering, okay, Traverse Town in Kingdom Hearts was pretty much, it was your central hub world, but it was also pretty much a safe haven. Most people that was lost, that their worlds were lost to the darkness, ended up in Traverse Town. And so I'm wondering, at this point, if this is before the Heartless came along and destroyed, that was something. Some of the characters, like King Triton in Kingdom Hearts, knew that there were other worlds. Mickey knew that there were other worlds. And so I'm wondering exactly how they knew. If before the Great War, if before the Heartless came into being and destroyed those barriers, if everybody was completely oblivious that there were other worlds, if nobody knew that there were other worlds, or if maybe only a few people, like only the main leaders or the main rulers or something of that world, like of certain worlds, actually knew. So I'm not really sure. I mean, that goes back very far, and that's not really something, at least to my recollection, that has actually been discussed. It's an interesting theory. It's an interesting thing to ponder. but there's no conclusive evidence that there is no real concrete evidence to conclude to actually solidify any actual theory. But so she says go to the other worlds. She doesn't say which worlds, and there's no mention in the trailer of how to get to other worlds. So I'm not really sure. There's still a lot to ponder here. And there's a lot going on. There's so much going on here. So yeah, there is. Wow. First, okay, I gotta say, to my best friend and to my master, okay, or should I say to my best friend and master and my other master, thank you both so much for sending me the trailer for this. I'm really sorry that it took me this long to get to it, but I wanted to do it whenever I had the time, because whenever I start talking about Kingdom Hearts, it's one of those games that you just delve into so much. There's so much story, there's so much history, there's so much to delve into and think about. And I knew that whenever I started watching it, I really wanted to be able to give a good detailed analysis on it, and I really wanted to be able to think about it. And there's so much to think about here, and there's so many questions, and so I want your theories as well. I mean, obviously some of you have watched this trailer. I want to hear what your theories are. I want to hear your thoughts. So any theories, things that you have to say, please feel free to put them in the comments below. Hey, if you want to watch this trailer yourself and do your own analysis on it, please feel free to do so. Or if you want to do a follow-up video for this, please feel free. But again, anything you want to say about this, any theories you have, any evidence that you have, please put it in the comments below. Please feel free to share. It doesn't matter how long it is. But yeah, again, both to my friend and master and to my other master, thank you so much for sending me this. I really appreciate it. I'm really glad that you both really wanted me to watch this, and hopefully you enjoyed my reaction and my thoughts and theories on this. So again, I want to hear what you have to say as well. So but yeah, there's so much going on here, and again, I absolutely love this. This looks incredible. I'm very happy that they did remaster Dream Drop Distance into HD. I'm really happy that they did that. I'm really going to be excited to be able to play the game and play it on the console, on a larger TV than just a smaller DS screen. I don't have anything against the DS at all. I honestly don't. But I mean, I'm kind of more used to playing on a bit of a larger TV. But like I said, I'm still perfectly fine with gaming on a smaller handheld. I can totally do that just fine. I have no problem with it. I really do think it's cool. But I'm really happy that they're remaking this, so that way, you can still play the original on the original systems that they came out on, but you can play the remastered version on a larger TV on a newer console. And so I'm really happy that they are in fact releasing that. And again, there's so much that we haven't seen. There's so much more story. Obviously, this isn't Kingdom Hearts 3. This isn't Kingdom Hearts 3. But all the extra content on the Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5 discs, all the extra content, all this here is build up. All this, one could probably consider it filler, but there is a good way and a bad way to do filler. I've seen TV shows before. I've heard about TV shows that do clip shows showing clips from past episodes just as filler, boring filler. I've seen I've heard about comic books, like anime comics that ventured off from the main character to a side character, and just kind of went on, for several issues did that as boring filler. But this is filler, but this, one could probably consider this filler, but this is really interesting filler, because there's a lot going on here, and there's a lot that is pertaining to the original story. There's a lot pertaining to the past story for what we've heard about. There's a lot pertaining to the future story of what we experienced. There's so much here, and so there is a lot going on, and I can pretty much guarantee right now that even after playing this, there is still so much that we're still not going to know. This is going to this is bringing up new questions, and we're going to be able to answer them while playing, but there's still a lot we're not going to know. And I'm pretty sure that there are still questions that are not going to be answered until Kingdom Hearts 3, the big one. And we do know that Kingdom Hearts 3 is in development. We know that. But again, this is a good setup. This is a great setup. It's setting up a lot of stuff. And again, it's pretty much a bit of an experimentation, showing us how that the graphics are going to look, how the world is going to look. And as I said before, I love the graphical style for what they're doing with the characters. I love the graphics, the texture, the lighting, the shading, the particle effects, and everything that they're doing with the characters, that they're doing with the background. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's not too realistic. It's not like The Last of Us or something like that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love that game, but I mean, the graphics work for what it is. But I don't want to see that kind of graphics in Kingdom Hearts, because I don't think that they would fit. I don't want to see the Disney characters look like the live-action Alvin and the Chipmunks from the live-action film. I don't want the characters to look like the live-action and CGI adaptations, like the Smurfs or Scooby-Doo or anything. I don't want Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy to look like that. I think the cartoonish style still works for them. The graphics, the way that we've seen it, works. It's a good blend. I think it's solid as it is, and I don't think it should advance any farther than that. I think there should be a limit, and I mean, that's just my personal thought. I don't think that it should advance too far, and I don't want to see it do that. And the way that it looks, I mean, the graphics has advanced, not just for the characters, but the backgrounds just look phenomenal. They look so good. And again, I love the concept that the worlds are larger, for allowing for a good level of exploration, which I love doing in any sort of big adventure game like that. I love exploring, and so I'm really looking forward to getting to do that. The gameplay mechanics looks like the basic style for the past games we've experienced, which I love, because therefore there's no brand new learning curve that you have to do. There's no new learning thing that you have to do. If you played the original games, you know the basics for the combat style, so you can just jump right in and play. I mean, obviously there will be new moves, new techniques that we will have to learn, but the game will teach us that, because all the games before had tutorials that fit into that. It worked into the flow of the story. It worked into the flow of the gameplay mechanic, and so I know that this game will have that as well. And again, I'm really looking forward to this, but man, with so much featured here, I'm wondering if all this is going to be on one disc or if it's going to be multi-disc. And again, there's so much here, there's so much featured, there's so much going on. It just looks phenomenal, and it really looks interesting. I'm really interested for the world, for the characters. I'm really interested in what's going on here. It looks great. And we're being introduced to new characters, and I think obviously, I'm very sure that the characters are going to have some really good depth, and they're going to have some really good character development and personality to them, so therefore it doesn't seem like they're bland characters. I really think that we're going to have some good solid characters here, and with the story that's going on, it's going to have a good lead up or build up to the things that will happen later on, possibly things that we have actually experienced in playing the games. May even answer some questions about things like the Great Keyblade War, and about the Heartless, maybe about the Heart, things like that. So again, there's a lot going on here, and I mean, this is something you could ponder on and analyze for so long, and still never even think of anything conclusive. Because they basically, what they did here, and I think they did a perfect job with this. They took a pie and they cut off a little bitty piece and gave it to us. That's the piece that we got here. And there's so much more pie to be had. There's so much more cake. We just had a little taste of that cake. The cake is not a lie. The cake is not a lie. There's a lot more cake, a lot of good cake to be had, and so it's just a matter of waiting till we get called to the dinner table so we can eat it, which is in December. So I have very much a good prompt right now to get a PS4. I was waiting. This is basically what I was waiting on. A guy that I work with, he kept asking me ever since he got a PS4. He kept asking me every single time that I would see it, when are you going to get a PS4? When are you going to get a PS4? And I would say, not right now, because there are a couple of games that I would like to get for it. well, there was one game which was Fallout 4, and I said I was waiting on the next Kingdom Hearts game to come out. I said that's what I'm waiting on, and I said whenever that comes out, that'll be my prompt to get a PS4. I'll get the game first, and then I'll work on getting the console. And so this is my prompt. I've got till December this year, which is still a few more months. That gives me plenty of time to save up the money for a console, provided, of course, I don't have to spend it on anything else for my truck. So keep your fingers crossed on that one, folks. And, of course, one other thing, of course, if I could, I would, and if people really wanted me to, I would love to be able to do some gameplay videos, some Let's Plays of this, but there is a problem. Before I tried doing some gameplay before. I bought an Elgato, but it does not work with my TV. My TV does not support 1080p. It is not even. I mean, it does not even support. It does not even support 480p. It only supports 480i. It's a 32-inch Sanyo, and it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't. I even tried connecting an HD cable to it. It had no effect whatsoever. The Elgato would not work with it. I tried. I could not get it to work. None of the videos that I looked up for the setup worked, and so I did read that with the PS3 and the Elgato that there was a problem. But that might. I'm not really sure if the PS4 has any problems, but I'm putting this question out there to anybody that has a PS4 that possibly does some Let's Play videos or maybe has recording software. What your setup is, if you wouldn't care to share, what you would recommend, what you know works. So if you want me to try doing some Let's Plays of this particular game whenever it comes out, and I can get the game and I can get it set up, then please let me know if you want to see that as well. If you don't, that's totally fine. I'll be definitely playing the game anyway. But I could totally do a Let's Play of it if you guys really want me to. So again, please let me know what you think about that. And again, like I said, what setup would actually work with that. So, I mean, my TV still works. I really don't want to have to go and buy a brand new TV whenever my TV works just fine. So, please let me know what you guys think about that. And also, please let me know anything you have to say about this trailer, about what is going on. Please let me know in the comments, because I really want to hear your thoughts. I really want to read your thoughts. So please feel free to post it. And again, to the people that requested that I do this, that sent me the links, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And also, so again, please let me know what you guys think. And also, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed both the reaction and the analysis. Hope you enjoyed possibly my afterthoughts as well. So please let me know what you guys think. And hopefully, I will see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care, and watch out for Heartless and no bodies.